This is from the Texas Board of Health meeting that they had about 6 weeks ago. Cut 16. I want you to listen to this conversation and then ask yourself why we're seeing the numbers we're seeing. Roll it.
State of Texas, DSHS has informed public health departments that they have adopted a revised definition for COVID-19 probable cases. This has the potential to be a very significant event for us here in Texas and here in Collin County, as the state now has elected to adopt this new probable definition. The definition, this probable case definition, was adopted by the Council of State and Territorial Epidemiologists back in early April 4th or 5th. They adopted this. They sent it to the CDC, and the CDC did take that recommendation and adopt it and send it out to the various states for consideration. And so now Texas DSHS has adopted this definition and will be using it. If someone has 2 minor symptoms or 1 major symptom, that qualifies. So 2 minor symptoms: fever, headache, sore throat, chills.
Now,
and fever, by the way.
Now just think about this. If you have a fever and a headache, now you have COVID.
Yeah.
In Texas. Fever and a headache, you have COVID. Or if you just have, what did he say, one of the major ones, whatever that qualifies as a major, you have it.
Yep.
Go ahead, G.
It can either be measured fever or subjective fever. They just
subjective
feel like
fever.
they've got a fever. If you have a subjective fever and you have a headache,
I think I have a fever,
and you live in Collin County, you now meet the qualifications to be a probable COVID patient.
So now any woman with menopause.
It is remarkable how
qualifies.
low the standard is now.
Mm-hmm.
This is crazy.
I don't think it can be overstated here that how much this could be taken out of context and could be giving a false narrative to our citizens and to our community. I'm not saying that we're going to see the numbers jump, but I'm very concerned that we absolutely could see the numbers jump.
Take a wild guess.
Very rapidly in a way that actually is not indicative of what we're seeing here in the community in the public health department. And so I fear that this is coming at a time when we're just now starting to reopen. And if the numbers jump in a false way, it's going to start to be very concerning to our citizens that we're actually going backwards. And the state has used part of their CARES Act funding to hire a private contractor to take over contact tracing and to do reporting at the state level. And all of the labs that are done for Collin County residents are going to be reported to the state instead of to us. There's a potential that the probable case numbers are about to shoot up, and folks are going to see the curves and the trend lines are going to change, and they're going to have lots of questions. And that frustrates me because I know we're all going to work hard to make sure and get this message out. But despite our best efforts, it will be very hard to get in front of this story. For those that don't know about this case definition, who don't understand it, when they see these dramatic increases in numbers, they're going to be inclined to think either that we've hit some different spike, and now, quite frankly, we have this new pandemic raging through the community, which is a false narrative. That's not at all what that is sharing with us and communicating to us. Or they're going to be inclined to think, well, we weren't doing an honest job with the numbers prior to this. For those that do know about this narrative, they do know that the definition's been changed, they're going to have to decide for themselves if they even want to trust or believe all of the numbers coming out from government from this point forward. And if they immediately say, I just don't trust these numbers anymore, they've changed the definition, they're off the charts now, I don't trust it. That doesn't help us from a public standpoint to put out numbers that the public are going to distrust. Doesn't work in our favor either. We're trying to communicate everything openly and honestly.
Heard any of that on CNN? Heard any of that on MSNBC or Fox or any place else the last couple of days? You heard this video played? This is in Texas, one county in Texas. So what do you think's happening all over the place? If the CDC got this and accepted this as a definition for cases,